We got Lady off the car hauler, but we didn't manage to get her into the driveway. However, she is off the road and out of the way, so at least traffic can work around her until I can get a chance to work on that front tire. What a night it was. And to everyone who was up until 3 o'clock in the morning with us helping out, we are so thankful. Hi, I'm Russ. I'm rebuilding a 1977 Mobile Traveler motorhome. And this is all about the MT and me. Getting the VIN number off Lady here, because all the work this week is going to focus on her. Not going to do anything on the MT. Right now, I've got this vehicle parked on the side of the road in front of my house, and I can't move her. I can't even get her into the driveway until we do some work on that ball joint on the front end. So, got the VIN number, going to do a little research on that. And I don't know, maybe one or two other things. It's just going to be kind of a catch-up week here on the MT and me. See, I told you I had great neighbors. Dustin and Thomas know a lot more mechanics than I do, and they have graciously agreed to help me get this ball joint changed out. I say help me, I'm just holding stuff and kind of watching and monitoring. They're doing all the work, so I couldn't ask for better people living across the street, and I am indeed grateful to them.
I'm pretty sure they kind of like for the Jeep to be out of the middle of the road, too.
Well, I would imagine that's probably a pretty good incentive, too. Yeah, it's been in front of Dusty's house here for 2.5 days. So, yeah, about ready to take it out of his view. I think he likes looking at the back of it rather than the side of it. Oh. Why they call it a ball joint. Because it actually does have a ball in it. And the other half of it is still on the knuckle. That's what they call it. Still on the knuckle. Remember the scraping sound?
Yeah. That's the scraping noise?
That's what got scraped. It's still okay, but it's just a beauty mark. Yeah.
Just a beauty mark?
Beauty mark, yeah. That's one way to look at it.
You see how I just grab it on the bottom, the top of that tire, and just like this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that for me. All right. Yeah, the top one's next.
Yeah, that's what's rattling.
It's out. Like when you do this right here, when the tire's jacked up, you go this way and it moves. That's your tie rods.
Yeah.
You go like this, and it moves. It's your upper or bottom ball joints.
Yeah.
And this right here is staged right before falling off.
Well, as you can see, we got her back into the driveway. Had to work late into the evening to do it because it gets dark so early now, but thanks to helping Dusty across the street, we got that lower ball joint in. Finally, it only took a week for 3 of us working to get it done.
And ultimately, it was Dusty that did it.
And ultimately, Dusty is the one that got it in, so hats off to him if I had a hat on. But thanks to his help, it was safe to move her, drive her from the side of the road into the driveway. Now, the problem is the other lower ball joint and the 2 top control arms, which have ball joints in them, are also right on the edge of failure. So I am scared, really, to drive Lady much, if any. Afraid another joint might fail. So, she could pretty well stay where she is until we can get the replacement parts, 2 upper control arms, another lower ball joint, and then find a mechanic to put them in, because we had so much trouble on that other one. I'm going to let a professional tackle it. In the meantime, we don't have transportation, so the pressure's still on, but at least we do have a little bit of breathing room. So, we'll take the time to tie up a few more loose ends and see what we can take care of in the meantime around here while we're waiting on the parts that we need to get. One of those loose ends is to finish cleaning the valve covers so I can get them put back on the engine. So we got warm water, an SOS pad, and we're about to clean. Sitting here in the sun to dry. They're not perfectly clean, but they are blue again. And they're actually fairly clean. So once they get dry, we'll put them back on the engine. So, it's time to get these head covers back on. Now that they are nice and clean. So putting the head covers back on is proving to be a little bit trickier than I thought, because you have to get that gasket under there lined up just right. One of the other loose ends I want to mention is our turtle eggs. Give you an update on those. Today is the 90th day of those turtle eggs being there. Now, the information that we got said it could be anywhere from 60 to 90 days for them to hatch, but it could also go as much as 135, 136 days sometimes. It all depends on temperature and how much rain there is and a lot of other stuff that turtles know that we don't know.
And there is the remote chance that they hatched and we didn't see them.
That, I guess, is a possibility. I, for one, don't really know what to expect. If they're going to burrow up out of the ground and crawl away, or if they're just going to kind of ease their way up through the dirt without disturbing it much. The eggs are about 3 inches deep under the ground, so just don't know what to expect here. So there's that possibility that they have hatched, or there's a possibility they may be hatching sometime in the near future. All we can do is just kind of keep our eye on them, but we're hoping for the best. We'd like to have some baby turtles in our yard. Not that they'll stay here, but that would be kind of nice. And if any of you are more of an expert on turtle eggs than we are, please comment below and let us know, share your knowledge with us, what we should be looking for, okay? Because this is our first experience with baby turtles. These bolts are really not tightening down. I mean, I reach a point, keep going with them. I also remember they came out pretty easily too. So I don't know if that's an issue with them or not. Some of you tell me what y'all think. Do I need to look at the gasket, get longer bolts, just keep turning them until they tighten? For now, I'm just going to leave it like it is because it's going to keep the cover from falling off. And we'll see what the other side does too. I just noticed there is not a gasket at all on this side.
There was.
I thought it had stuck to the block whenever I pulled it off.
There was a gasket on there.
You know what? I'll bet you I put a gasket on top of a gasket on the other side. That's why it's not sealing down, because I'm trying to screw through 2 gaskets.
That would explain it.
That sure would. There's not one here either.
Really? It looks like there's 2 on the bottom there.
That's the deal. There's one already on this. That's exactly it. Oops, well, that
replacing it anyway.
These
but
have got to be
still.
replaced anyway. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well. Yeah. With just one gasket, it tightens down a lot better. Time I turn around, I'm fighting canvas out here. Which reminds me of another one of our loose ends. Our canvas on the top is obviously not stopping the leaks in Pearl. So, we're going to put some plastic up there between the canvas and the top. You'll see us doing that in a future video. See if that doesn't straighten out the problem. Okay, now that I have the correct gasket on this side, the other one tightened down nicely. Let's see if we can get this one in position. And so, while I'm taking care of this, I'm going to remind you that we are still working on a trip to Virginia. A few videos back, we showed you Ree and her brother and sister here getting to talk with their two older sisters on the phone for the first time ever. Well, now that the contact has been made, it's time for some face-to-face time, so we're making plans to go see them, trying to get the money together, and of course, it seems like karma's just been against us ever since we decided to do this, with all the troubles that we've had with Lady, our Jeep. Got to get her fixed before we can think about going anywhere on the road. So, several things got to work out here in the near future, but that trip is coming up. It's going to be a fun family reunion when it is. So we'll keep you posted on that too. And speaking of Lady, we have ordered the parts. They ought to be in shortly, so we'll see about getting the remaining 3 front ball joints replaced. And then I think she's going to be ship-shape and ready to run, go down the road. Maybe give her a good oil change, get her freshened up, and we'll be ready to take off and at least have one running vehicle again. This motor and Pearl, it's going to take just a little bit longer.
And a $300 carburetor.
Yeah, that's the other thing we're shopping for. We're also shopping for a $300 carburetor. Only about $250, but we don't have one to trade in for a core charge. So most of what we're running into is going to be in that $300 range. Which of course is well worth it if we can do it. If we can find one. Next week is Halloween, and the video will be appropriate. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Give us a thumbs up, like and share this video, because that helps our numbers on YouTube, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching and supporting us, okay? Tune in again next week. Till then, I'm Russ. Ree's behind the camera. We will talk later.